Hi, future CRNA. Jenny Fennell here with CRNA School Prep Academy. I'm here to give you 4 things you can start doing today to increase your odds of pursuing this career down the road. So number 1 is job shadow. The reason why this is so important, you guys, is because you don't want to spend all this time and money to go to CRNA school if you're not even 100% certain this is what you want to do. So I'm trying to save you that kind of disappointment. I want to make sure that you've seen the OR, that you've talked to a CRNA, ask them, what's your favorite thing about being a CRNA? What's your least favorite thing about being a CRNA? What is it like in a day-to-day life of a CRNA? And really pick their brain. So I really encourage you, number 1, to shadow, and that should start from the time you decide CRNA is the career path that you want to pursue. And whether that's in nursing school or after you've been a nurse for 10 years, this is the first thing you should start with. And one thing too, I will say, is it usually takes years to kind of prepare for CRNA school. So the last thing you should do is wait till the application is due to get the shadowing experience. And not only kind of shows that maybe you're just trying to check a box in the application process, but it kind of just doesn't show that maybe you are truly invested in this from the time you decided CRNA is for you, because I know it's going to take years to kind of do the GRE, to take the CCRN, to get the ICU experience. So again, there's a lot of preparation that goes into becoming a CRNA, and shadowing is really where it should start. So whether you're a nursing student or an ICU nurse, walk down to the anesthesia department and ask for a shadow day. Call the anesthesia department. If they tell you no, start calling around town. You can go to an endoscopy clinic, you can go to an outpatient surgery center. And I actually encourage you to try to see more than one area of surgery. And that way you kind of get a better, well-rounded picture of what a CRNA does. I also encourage you, if you can, to shadow with the same CRNA more than once if possible. And that will also go into number 2, which is networking. So when you shadow a CRNA more than once, this will build a relationship with them, which could turn into a reference later on. And the reason why that's so important is because you never know who they know. They could know the local program director. They could know current students you could reach out to who go to the school you want to attend. So this could be really, really invaluable, you guys. And I will say, on average, competitive applicants have about 40 hours of shadowing. Now, keep in mind, this is over a period of 2 or 3 or even 4 years. It's not like you have to cram in 4 experiences right before the application. And I actually don't encourage that. Again, I think you got to play the long game here and start the shadowing from the time you decide CRNA might be the career path for you. So even if you're not sure CRNA is for you, shadow. That way you know. That way you know before you put any more time and effort into it, that you know for sure this is either A, I really want to do this, or B, no, it's not for me. And I'll tell you from my own experience that when I shadowed, I got lit up. Like, I was on fire. I was like, oh yeah, 100%. This is what I want to do. And I felt, I'm like getting goosebumps just talking about it. But I remember feeling that passion to like pursue this. And I'll tell you right now, school's hard. As you know, you've probably heard from everyone. Everyone talks about how hard it is. It is hard, but what really helps you push through it is that passion, that fire that lit you up in the beginning. And so I encourage you to experience that, get that fire underneath you so you can push through when it does get hard. So again, that starts from the very beginning. So that's number 1. Number 2, again, is networking, and this can start from the job shadowing experience, but other ways you can network are going to conferences, okay? CRNA School Prep Academy is having a conference this fall in Greenville, South Carolina. I hope to see you there. I want to give you a high five in person. I cannot wait. You're going to get to meet program directors, current students. You're going to hear lectures that are going to help you from your application process all the way into your time as an SRNA. It's going to be freaking awesome. I cannot wait. But back to just networking and, again, getting involved in the community. You can also find local state associations to attend those conferences. It's always going to be helpful just trying to talk to CRNAs, current SRNAs, especially SRNAs who go to your program you want to attend. I promise you that will be one of the best things you can do to increase your odds of gaining acceptance, is talk to current students. One, because you want to ask them, how is it going? How do you like, how are things going in school? Do you feel like you're being supported? How are your clinical rotations? Do you like it? What you like, not like, etc. How was the interview process? I mean, this is really going to be gold, you guys. You really should try to come in contact with a current SRNA. Number 3 is grades. Okay. And the reason why I mention this now is because I really think if you start early on the planning process, grades should really be something you address right then and there. That way you have plenty of time to take action. And it really breaks my heart when I see candidates get all the way to the application phase and then find out they need chemistry that maybe they didn't have, or maybe they had a chemistry that didn't have a lab in it, or maybe their school, wants them to have a stats course they don't have yet. And it could delay your entire application process. And if it's the only school you're applying to, you're going to have to wait another entire year to apply. So that's heartbreaking. So I don't want that to happen to you. So you need to evaluate your transcripts and your GPA, your grades from the very beginning. And not just your overall GPA. The schools will break down 3 things. They'll look at the last 60 credit hours, They'll look at your overall, and they're going to look at your science courses. When I say science courses, I'm mostly referring to your core sciences. Now, if you have a second degree that's heavy science-based, they're going to look at all your sciences. So you want to take that into consideration. And if you've had to retake courses, they're not going to omit the ones you retook. They're going to average in all into your GPA. So unfortunately, if you had a bad course, it's not going to ever be gone. It's always going to be there, but they're going to average out the A and whatever the low grade is. So I encourage you to know what your science GPA is. If it's above a 3.4, you're going to be fine. If it's less than 3.4, there could be some things you could do to help boost your application. So I encourage you to, again, start looking at that sooner than later. I have students who come to me who have a 3.8 science GPA, and they're like, what other courses can I take? And I'm like, no. Your time's gonna be much more better spent doing things like leadership than actually taking another course, because your GPA is fine. So that's why I'm telling you this now. Okay. Number 4 is leadership experience, as I just mentioned. So leadership experience, they want to see that you're not just all books and brains. They want to know, how are you going to be involved in this community? How do you like to give back? Who are you? Like, they want to know about you as a person. They want to see how your personality is. Can you handle criticism? How do you work well as a team? And leadership is one way that you can prove that you work well as a team. So if you take leadership roles on your unit, whether you take charge of a project, whether you reach out to an attending to see, hey, can I do some literature review research for you, whatever project you're working on, it just shows initiative, and it shows that you're not, again, just books and brains, that you're more than that. You're, again, involved, and you are helpful to your fellow coworkers, teammates. Okay. And so again, if you're looking more into CRNA, I encourage you to check out CRNA School Prep Academy. That's such an amazing resource for you guys. We will help you from the planning phase all the way till your time as an SRNA. We do monthly educational workshops, which, you guys, this information is the stuff you're going to be learning in anesthesia school. We're not going to teach anesthesia, so don't freak out. We're not teaching anesthesia. We're teaching pathophysiology, pharmacology in a way that you can understand and use right now in the ICU. We're teaching you the basic things that you need to know that you're going to be relearning as a student. And so how cool would it be to go sit through your class, be like, oh, I learned this in CRNA School Prep Academy. This is awesome. So now I've heard it for the second time. So our whole plan with CRNA School Prep Academy is just that, to prep you for CRNA school. And this starts for the planning phase, whether you're still a nursing student, whether you're an ICU nurse, or whether you've been a nurse for 10 years and now you're going back to the ICU to pursue CRNA. CRNA School Prep Academy can help you through all these phases. The application interview phase, we have a mock interview library. We do services such as transcript reviews, mock interviews, essays, resumes, one-on-one consultations. We even, like I said, the educational workshops for SRNAs, and there's a lot more to come for CRNA School Prep Academy. So we really hope that you check it out and see what it has to offer you. And I hope to see you in there.